You'll all remember me covering Andrew Tate's little trip to America recently after the Trump administration lent on Romanian authorities to enable him to leave the country. Oh, we had a jolly old time, did Tate.
I fucking love Tate. I think he's hilarious. We're gonna bring him to UFC. Everyone's gonna see how much love that people have for him there.
UFC, we're gonna do that. Power slap, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to that.
Tonight, if you want to gamble, it's a good night to gamble.
Now, on his little trip, he would, as he always does, go on every single podcast who listen to him, tell every interviewer that he's done nothing wrong, there are no real victims, deny the whole story. And because these interviewers, they do no fucking research whatsoever, they don't ever put to him all of the case files, the statements, all of the information that's out there at the click of a button as to how he might be guilty, and they don't ask him any fucking difficult questions fucking ever, because all they give a fuck about is clout, and he just runs circles around them and tells them there are no victims.
But when a famous person is attacked with these kind of accusations, loads of victims come forward. Name anyone. Hundreds of victims, new lawsuit, victims. I'm 3.5 years in with the most media spin of any case ever without a single girl coming forward. Every girl they get hold of is like, nah, he's nice. I like him. I like Andrew. I defended you, baby. Can I see you?
Now, when he said that comment on the podcast, there were 49 alleged victims in the various cases against Andrew Tate. Now, as far as I'm aware, 11 in Romania have given statements. That's not including, 2 different cases against him in the UK with multiple women in each of those cases as well. What Tate's point is, and the reason he can get away with saying that kind of nonsense to these interviewers, is no one's publicly stood up and went, you did this to me, loud and proud in the front of public opinion, because it's a brutal place to be, especially when you've got an army of little losers like Tate has who are going to come out and try and ruin people's lives the way they would for someone who did that. At least that was the case until now. Andrew Tate's ex says he choked her with one hand, hit her with the other, and threatened to kill her. And she is going fucking public. The TMZ article says here, Andrew Tate choked his girlfriend Bree Stern with one hand, used the other mate to beat the crap out of her face, according to a new lawsuit. Bree has gone to the police, and she's also suing Andrew for sexual assault, battery, and gender violence in her lawsuit. In the documents obtained by TMZ, Bree says they were having consensual sex in his room in Beverly Hills when things suddenly changed and he started verbally degrading and being violent. Bree claims that Andrew routinely degraded her during sex, but on this night things got much worse, more aggressive and more violent. She claims he started choking her and would not stop despite her crying, begging for him to stop, and with her cries and screams only causing Tate to hurt her more. Andrew's ex said he continued choking her harder and harder, making her lose consciousness, claiming that she used one hand to choke her, the other to beat her repeatedly on the side of her face and on the top of her head. She also claimed Andrew threatened her during the alleged assault, telling her if he ever crossed him, he was going to kill her. She says she sobbed, pleaded, and protected herself as best as she could until Andrew climaxed and then the attack subsided. Apparently, she was too scared to leave right after the attack, even though she wanted to, so the following morning pretended like nothing had happened so she could finally escape his hotel room, and then went to see the doctor and reported the attack to the police. And this allegedly took place only a couple of weeks ago when Tate was on his little holiday in America. Now, Bree didn't just stop at reporting him to the police. She's actually put out a series of tweets detailing how she's feeling after everything has gone on. The title of this thread is "You Are My Property" in block capitals at the top, and she's put here, "My name is Bree Stern, I'm from LA. I met Andrew Tate in the summer of 2024 and we were in a relationship for almost a year." And she's attached this picture below the start of it, which it kind of looks like this is like the morning after the alleged incident took place, where you could see this big red mark on her face here. And obviously her makeup looks like it's been running. She looks like she's been crying. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm not a fucking police officer. But, she doesn't look in a good way. We met because he needed models for his crypto coin. And he promised to help me save my crypto coin. We spent as much time together as we could. And when we weren't physically together, we were in communication all day, every day. She's attached this video below, which kind of shows that mark on her face again. I'm not sure. Yeah. And then there's marks under her neck there, I think, as well. Again, I'm not an expert, but, she's in tears and she's clearly, seems very upset. She's attached this picture for the next one with them kissing, saying, "He was my best friend. I stood by his side unwaveringly. We made plans to live together first in Romania, then in Miami once he traveled to America. And by the way, I've also seen Tate fans claiming that this is like a fake picture and AI and all that. They'll do the gymnastics, the mental gymnastics as best as they can. There's videos of them together and everything. Like, it's fucking pathetic. He wanted to start a new life together once he moved to the US. He wanted me to have his children and always told me we would be together forever. Andrew told me he loved me every day and I was very much in love with him. And I've been through this with you guys a couple of times now in previous videos you can find on the channel about how Tate, love bombs to get these women under his control before he exerts, the pressure on them and the horrible things that, he's alleged to have done. And this is a key part of the pimp and hose degree he released. It's what's known as the Romeo Loverboy method of human trafficking, where he gets them to feel like they're in love with him and then they'll do what he wants, which is often to make him money and take his abuse. Despite the fact that he hurt me so badly, I still love him. Maybe that's Stockholm Syndrome, I don't know. I mean, this is why you see a lot of these women, including the girl who was beaten to a bad way on camera, that she was 15 at the time as well. They defend him later on. They say, no, we were just playing a game. Sometimes they don't even have the ability to really realize what's gone on because they've been under his control for so long. They're brainwashed. And she's kind of waking up from that in real time out loud here. She attaches a text message which says, "I'm glad you texted me. I was having anxiety. Anxious little lady over here." He replies, "You need to be hit." "Why? I don't like it. What did I do?" "You deserve it." Why? Now, obviously, text messages can be taken out of context, and the Tate fans will say, oh, this is out of context. What does it really prove? Yes, that's always something to take into account. However, there are a fucking truckload of these kinds of text messages littered throughout the case files that are as bad, if not worse than this, by a mile. The last time I saw Andrew on March 11th in 2025 was at the Beverly Hills Hotel. His last words before I left the hotel were, "Shut the fuck up, bitch. You will never backtalk me. You are my property." She attaches more text messages saying, "If you're mine, why wouldn't I be able to hit you, okay?" She replies, "You're scared with what you scared me with what you said. Are you scared of me? Physical violence for me is a huge no. I don't even like it when you hit me during sex. It scares me." Due to the events that had transpired in the early hours of that day, she's alluding to when she was allegedly abused and attacked, as well as his final degrading words, something just clicked. I finally realized that someone who truly loved me wouldn't say those things to me or hurt me repeatedly the way that he did. I think for the first time I realized the gravity of the situation. She attaches more text messages. "Why are you being mean in the other chat?" "Because I want to beat the fuck out of you. You will give me a child this year, bitch." "Why do you want to beat me? It's 12:30. I'm in the room. I sleep soon. What's the point in having you?" He replies. She goes on, "This wasn't a joke or an internet facade. This was the reality of my boyfriend and my life. I needed to take back control. You are my property," echoed in my mind, and I knew that this was not the future I wanted for myself or for my children. Meaning her future children that she wanted to have with Andrew Tate. And as much as people like myself and a lot of you lot probably think to yourself, like, fuck me, who would want to do that? Like, the guy's a fucking lunatic. Tate has charmed her and made her believe that this is a possibility in the future and that, life will be great and all of that, and she's wanted to believe that. And when you want to believe something, it's a lot easier to then go along with things. And it's only her thinking about her future children here and loving something greater than herself, arguably, that can make her snap out of this. And that is often the case with abuse victims from what I've read up. It was not easy, but I gathered the courage to do what I'd contemplated doing for a long time: leave him. I grabbed my things and walked out of the hotel and out of the relationship. That day, even though I was terrified, I made a promise to myself that I would not go back no matter what he did. No matter that, I blocked him, his numbers, blocked him on all social media platforms and on all communication apps. She then explains she went to the doctor, went to the police, and says that it's been very scary for me. I am an emotional wreck. I am constantly looking over my shoulder and I'm not the person I was before. Which is exactly why the other women don't want to come forward in the same way she is. This is scary for her. And this is why all these podcasters are allowing him to say this spiel about, oh, there's no real victims, no one's come forward. Plenty of people have. The podcasters just don't care. They just want the fucking views. Andrew texted me recently to let me know, if you ever betray me, you will regret it. He's told me on many occasions before that if I cross him, he will ruin my life, rape me, or kill me. There's then another screenshot attached here that says, I really love hitting you. It's very good for me and you. It's relaxing, don't you think? I should also mention that when she went to the hospital, got seen by the doctor, he diagnosed her as post-concussive after taking a look at her injuries. Coming out about this is terrifying in all aspects. The entire situation is very traumatic and extremely difficult. I considered many times just silently leaving Andrew and saying nothing, doing nothing. But I was scared, and because it was honestly hard for me to accept that I was being abused. But I could see now that doing so would be the cowardly approach. It's not even cowardly though, it's just for fearing for your fucking life, man. You know, who wouldn't be fucking scared, to be fair to all these women? She says, I knew he and his followers would insult me and attack me. I don't care because I speak the truth. I will not comment further about Andrew Tate beyond what my lawyer has set forth in detail in my lawsuit. The facts speak for themselves. And this is a video of them, obviously in happier times, just in case anyone says, oh, it's AI, it's not real photographs. And the key thing for me here is this is so consistent with everything we've been hearing about this guy for years.
Whilst we were having sex, he put his hand on my throat and strangled me until I lost consciousness. But he was still having sex with me when I kind of came back around again.
I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to? That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet.
And then the next day, one of the whites of my eyes had gone completely red. Apparently, that's kind of common in domestic abuse cases where there's a lack of oxygen in your brain. So your blood vessels like start bursting to kind of try and get the oxygen there.
Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out.
But he kind of kept saying, I own you, you belong to me, like threatening to kill me.
And it's not just consistent with victim accounts, it's consistent with his own words.
Here's a little move. When I grab you by your neck and you start annoying me, trying to resist, and I just and then I grab you by your neck again. Then what the fuck are you gonna do when your face is collapsed and your fucking cheekbone's broken? You ain't gonna do shit but cry.
I guarantee I changed the way you look at sex forever. You're gonna be fucking crying. I won't cry. I bet you cry, bitch. I bet you fucking cry. You're saying I wouldn't cry. You're challenging me to a fight. You're saying I can't hurt you. You're out of your fucking mind?
And despite all of the mountains of statements that are out there from all of these women and all the text messages you can read back and forth, people will continue to platform him based on, well, he innocent until proven guilty. He might be innocent. People accuse people wrongly all the fucking time. They hide behind that bullshit because they want the clout of having him on their channel. And they really don't give a fuck about female safety. And every one of you, when this finally comes to an end and this man is behind bars, you don't get to come out and go, oh, we didn't know. You fucking had every opportunity to do the bare minimum of research on this fucking prick, and you didn't even exercise caution in that. Fuck me, I might be promoting someone who's able to say there are no victims and abuse victims from the other side of the camera and make them feel like they don't even exist. You did that, and you got to hold that for the rest of your fucking lives. And one of the main people who's done it is Candace Owens. She's like the fucking Tate Defense League. Calls herself an investigative journalist. What a fucking load of shit that is.
Come get me, arrest me, perp walk me, put me on the news, tell everyone I'm a human trafficker. You think I'm not versed? You think I'm not ready? I'm a Navy SEAL in this shit. Fucking come get me. Raid my house. Take my stuff. You think I sleep with a full phone full of evidence? You think I don't wipe my phone every night? You think I'm dumb?
And yet it never occurred to that investigative journalist Candace Owens why someone who she says is innocent would be wiping his fucking phone every night. Where's the follow-up question on that? You silly woman. To be fair, I know why she's doing that. Her fucking husband and Tate have been like that for a long, many years. She's got an ulterior motive. But when you look at these text messages, because I want to beat the fuck out of you, I really love hitting you, it's very good for me, and many other messages that are out there where he literally says to women, I love raping you and shit like that. Like, no wonder he's fucking deleting his messages every night. And those messages alone should be enough for every fucking YouTuber with an ounce of fucking self-respect to go, fuck this, I'm never having this guy on again. But the clout matters more. Let's be real here. The clout always comes out on top. No one gives a fuck about anyone online. It's just the clout. And since all this allegedly happened in America, the Tates have arrived back in Romania. They have to check in with the courts for a case that they've apparently beaten, which doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, they keep saying, I've beat the case has fallen apart, and yet they're still having to go back and sign in But they've signed. And the lawyer representing the alleged victims in the UK has come out on X and spoken out. During the short time in the USA, Tate is now alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman in LA. He is accused of choking her during sex until she almost lost consciousness. The allegations mirror those of other alleged victims. First, the UK failed to prosecute Tate, allowing him to flee to Romania, where he is alleged to have raped and trafficked numerous women. Then the Trump administration pressured Romanian authorities to return Tate's passport, allowing his flight to the USA, where his further alleged offence was reportedly committed. But despite our calls to do so, Keir Starmer's government has also utterly failed to seek extradition from the USA to the UK when it had the chance. If it had done so, Tate would not have been able to leave Florida, where he first arrived, for LA, where this woman now claims he assaulted her. Instead, he would have been detained in Florida and there would be no further alleged crime. Instead, there is now this new criminal complaint of sexual violence, adding to a long list of alleged victims. Instead, he is now back in Romania, where the chances of him being prosecuted due to Team Trump's intervention is becoming vanishingly small. During this time of discord, at least there is one thing that unites the US and the UK: ensuring Tate stays out of justice's reach and ensuring the number of alleged victims only continues to increase. When will this stop? And this is Tate's arrival home in Romania.
I think it's amazing that people think there was American pressure required to let men go who couldn't even get a case to trial after 3 solid years of imprisonment. I mean, why would you need pressure for that? Surely, in any civilized country, when a man spent 3 years locked in his house for no reason, eventually they're going to say, okay, you can travel now because we don't even have a case. I think it's incredible people are not sitting here thinking they should have let him go way sooner. There's no American pressure.
Tate is capitalizing on the incompetency of the Romanian authorities to get a fucking move on with this court case, basically. And these things do take time, always. So this is Roger Stone, who was a political guy, big in with the Trump administration years ago, and, you know, still plays a bit of a role as a supporter of them, I think. He put a tweet out after spending time with the Tates, claiming that Richard Grenell, that's this guy, who is a part of the Trump administration, secured the release of the Tates because there was no evidence against them, which is a fucking outright lie. So now, of course, little Ron DeSantis, I think that's the guy in Florida who was opening up an investigation on them, says these US citizens who have no pending charges against them are not welcome in Florida. They have pending charges. This is the lies, man. It's the fucking lies. Interestingly, he later deleted that tweet, and now the Tates are saying there was no pressure from the Trump administration. Of course they're going to say that. You mean to tell me the Romanian authorities kept this motherfucker on house arrest for a couple of years and then out of nowhere went, have your passport back, for no reason, when there's tweets like that around? We knew that they were speaking to the Romanian authorities. It was in the news at the time, and then a week later, boom, they're out. Now, when I look at this situation, there's just a lot of shame to go around, right? The UK police at the start fumbled it, they fucked it, they let him get away to Romania. Romania had all the evidence they needed. They fucked around with the court case, and then they allowed the pressure of the Trump administration to get the better of them when they should have held firm. Then the Trump administration, what the fuck are you guys doing? Do you do any research at all? Like, what is this guy going to be in the White House next, having a bit of a fucking chinwag with Donald Trump? How stupid can you be? And then Keir Starmer and his organisation in the UK not demanding the immediate extradition of him, allowing this shit to continue. It's funny because for years online, I've been talking about this because I've seen it coming a fucking mile away, and it's like the emperor's, has no clothes, when you just point at the sky going, this is a load of shit. Like, why is everyone not noticing this? And I just hope that this woman coming out, Bray Stern, shines a light on what a lot of smart people have known for fucking years now. But honestly, after waiting so long, I'm not going to hold my breath. Let me know what you make of this in the comments below. If you want to Tate's fanboys, get the fuck. Like the video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.